Right, guys, that was an absolute cracking game. Chelsea have just beaten Real Madrid 3-2 in the game. However, it was not enough for Chelsea to go through to the semi finals of the Champions League, as Real Madrid did win the first leg 3-1. Um, but I mean, what a game. Chelsea gave it a real good go, but just couldn't quite hold on in the end. They got the opening goal through Mason Mount, and it was a really good finish on the half volley by Mason Mount. Put a lot of power on it with his side foot, and gave Courtois very little chance of saving it. But the first half, though, that it wasn't a classic first half. There wasn't ridiculous amounts of chances for either team. But after the break in the second half, oh my god, what a game! Antonio Rudiger scored a superb header from a corner, directed it perfectly into the far corner. And Marcos Alonso thought he'd got the goal that would put Chelsea ahead in the tie, but unfortunately it was given a handball because he did brush his hands, and according to the rules, it is a handball, so it was the correct decision. But having said that still feels really harsh, doesn't it? So yeah, I suppose you can't score a goal if it has contacted your hands, can you? Really, you would be annoyed if that goal went against you. But that didn't matter. Timo Werner then went on a mazy run and took two Real Madrid defenders out of the game. I think it was Casemiro and David Alaba, before managing to squeeze it past Courtois. I mean, that's the most composure I've seen from Timo Werner in a Chelsea shirt. And he's not had a bad week, Timo Werner, to be fair. He scored 2 goals against Southampton at the weekend. And two of his 3 goals this week have been really good. The first one he scored at the weekend was a really well taken goal, and so was the one he scored tonight. In fact, I think at the weekend, he in total, if the goal was like 5 centimetres larger in all dimensions, he would have scored 5 at the weekend. So he's not had a bad week, Timo Werner. But unfortunately for Chelsea, though, I mean, Luka Modric, I mean, what a pass. That is one of the best passes I've seen this season, by far. To pick out Rodrigo, who'd only just come on the pitch with the outside of his foot like that, was ridiculous. And Rodrigo took it really well, to be fair. He opened his body up and just cushioned it into the net, sort of. And that took it to extra time. And yeah, in extra time, Benzema does what Benzema does this season. Really good cross by Vinicius to the back post, and Benzema just puts a lot of power on the header and gives Edouard Mendy very little chance. Chelsea did have a lot of chances to take it to penalties, even after Benzema's goal. Havertz had a really good header that just went wide. Pulisic missed a couple of chances, as well as Jorginho right at the end. So I think Chelsea will feel a bit disappointed considering the position they did get themselves into originally. But yeah, I mean, still, nonetheless, a performance that Chelsea should feel more proud of rather than disappointed with, because very few people gave Chelsea much of a chance going into this game, because, you know, you're going to the Bernabeu and you're 2 goals down, so it's always going to be a bit of a daunting task. And that they managed to, at one point, be winning the tie, so I guess you can say it's disappointing from that point of view. But yeah, it was still a fantastic game to watch. And yeah, I was quite surprised when the lineups came out and Tuchel went with a 4 at the back and a 3 in midfield, because I think whenever I've seen Chelsea play that this season, they have been a lot worse. But tonight it seemed to work for them quite well. I think that was partly down to the fact that Tuchel might have spotted that despite the fact that Real Madrid have such quality in midfield with Kroos, Modric and Casemiro, they can be outworked potentially with players like Kante, Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic, which might be why he didn't play Jorginho, because Jorginho doesn't quite have the legs to like overpower a midfield. And yeah, the midfield three all played quite well. I think Kante had a couple of dodgy moments, but other than that, he had quite a good game. The front three for Chelsea played well, and the back four played well. It was a really good performance up until extra time from Chelsea, and even in extra time, I don't think they put much of a foot wrong. Real Madrid, though, I felt tonight their frailties sort of showed a little bit, which might be like might be a sign for what could happen in the semi-finals if they come up against Man City. Should Man City hold on to their lead against Atletico Madrid, because I just don't think you can win the Champions League with a defence of Ferland Mendy, who I thought had a fairly poor game tonight. Carvalhal's all right, but it's a centre-back partnership of David Alaba, who is a very experienced player and very capable of playing centre-back. But I just think you want someone alongside him that's a top class player. Like you want a Ramos or a Varane alongside him, and maybe not Nacho Fernandez, because he's been a good servant for Real Madrid, but he's not at that top level, I don't think. So they could improve in that position, I think. But I mean, once again, Benzema and Vinicius showed their quality in attack. But yeah, it wasn't enough, and Chelsea, well, it wasn't enough on the night, but it was enough in the tie. And unfortunately for Chelsea, it wasn't enough in the tie. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.